Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode with the Road to Glory podcast. I'm Juliet.
And I'm Cecilia. And finally, all F2, F3, F1 academies are obviously done. So we don't have anything new to talk about. But, however, here in our little Christmas end of year episode, final episode before Christmas, we are sadly going on a small Christmas break. But don't you worry, it won't be for too long. We will be back every Wednesday soon. So for this little episode, we will be wrapping up the F2, F3, F1 Academy season in the sense that we are looking at our predictions we made at the start of the season, which, spoiler alert, they're not that great, a lot of them. Some of them we were on point, but definitely not all of them. And then also speaking a bit about our favorite moments or races from each category as well. So, like, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Wednesday for those who don't celebrate anything right now. Happy to have you here.
Yes. Very interesting to go back and look because obviously our predictions were like our first couple episodes that we made, and we've grown so
Yes.
much in a year. It's
It's insane.
it's crazy. It's also crazy to see like what we thought was going to happen, who we
Yeah.
thought was going to do well. So it's just nice to end off the year, see how wrong or right we were, and just, wrap up the season nicely. We will be back next year, like wrapping up each individual series, seeing how the past season went, and then doing predictions for next year again because we can't not.
No.
So if you already have any predictions for next year, let us know. Or did you have any predictions for this year? And how wrong or right were you? Did you know what was going to happen? Did you have a crystal ball to see into the future?
Yes, because we certainly did not. I was like, shout out to the people who actually watched that first video ever. You're the real ones. Also, if you're new here, don't go back. Just don't go back to it, okay? Just don't do it. We've come a long way. Let's put it that way. And I'm sure we'll also like make a new little introduction video next year to our podcast because that is definitely needed. But I guess we can just get into our not predictions, but like what we predicted and then how it turned out. Starting with F1 Academy.
We start on a high here for me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, it wasn't very left field for me to predict that Dorian Pat would win, okay? And spoiler alert, if you don't know, she did. But you should know that she won F1 Academy. So I feel like that prediction of mine was not insane. And I'm glad I got that right because the other bits of it were not so right. I also predicted Prema would win the team's championship, which they did by 60 points. But again, that's kind of like more of an obvious thing. I feel like Prema would have had to have such a downfall this season in F1 Academy to not win with the two seasons that they've had before. So I feel like in that sense, my predictions were like, I slayed F1 Academy for looking at it overall, but like also they were a bit of obvious predictions. But your prediction was actually like really good for for a left field prediction.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say, because you can definitely tell in the predictions. I had a feeling that you would go the safe route, which is like fair, because that was right, obviously. So I decided to spice things up a little, because the episode would have been very boring if our predictions were literally 100% the same.
Exactly.
So yeah, I did come in with a left field prediction going for rookie Alicia Palmowski, which honestly for a while looked pretty okay because she did start up pretty strong in her rookie F1 Academy season. Obviously, she didn't go on to win. Also, she didn't even end up being the highest ranked rookie, unfortunately, but she was up there. I will say that even though I was about to say get a point. We don't get points here for getting things right or wrong. But like, even though I didn't get it right, I will say that I will take credit for also literally mentioning in the episode that my initial prediction also was Dorian Pan, but I wanted to change things up a little. And I went for Alicia. And who knows, maybe that prediction could be right next season. We have to wait and see for that prediction.
Yeah, I do think also at the start of the season, you were looking so good. Alicia was really, like, really performing well. I feel like she had a little bit of a drop off towards, but
Yeah,
that is expected in your rookie season. Like you're not gonna have a perfect rookie campaign.
exactly.
And she was performing so well. So it's not like you chose someone who didn't even get on the podium or something. Like you knew what was
No.
up still.
Exactly. Like Alicia was definitely mixing in with the experienced drivers,
Yeah.
Doyan and Maya at the beginning, and Chloe as well. So not too bad of a prediction. Also, the only prediction I got right across all series that we did, like 100% right, where I didn't just mention it as a side note, was that Prema would win Teams
Yeah.
Championship. Which again, the only safe bet I did make, because obviously I had to as a Prema supporter. We have
Yeah.
to go for Prema. Also, F1 Academy, as you already said, they have won every single year they've competed so far, and there has been no car changes yet. We do know from F2 and F3, if they change that F1 Academy car, we are doomed.
Yeah.
We will fall off a cliff.
Absolutely. In Prema, we trust. That's the
Yeah.
mantra I go with in F1 Academy. When we get to F2 and F3, perhaps not anymore. I want dominant Prema back, but we will have to
Yes.
wait and see. Maybe next season. Maybe. I'm delusional. I'm completely delusional.
Yes. We can have hope, okay? That's all we have right now. But yeah, looking at F1 Academy to wrap that up, we obviously have some favorite moments or races. Do you want to start first with what your favorite was?
Yeah, my favorite race, this is gonna be a little boring, but I just feel like Las Vegas with the
Mm,
championship being decided, everything on the line, and specifically the sprint race, race one, the one with the rain. That was
mm,
literally insane. It had me on the
yes.
edge of my seat. And like, okay, controversially, I like maybe it's not controversial. I like a race with chaos. I love
Mm,
a race with chaos, with someone who you don't expect to get on the podium gets on the podium, where the people who are right in the front don't end up staying there the whole time. Except when it's my favorite, then I like boring races. But
yeah,
I like when there's some chaos and there's some switching up. So, I feel like that's why I chose Las Vegas. I feel like the vibes of the entire weekend were incredible. We had Hello Kitty, like the
mm,
Hello Kitty grandstand. And I feel like there was a lot of focus on F1 Academy that weekend, which there always should be. So I feel like that's
yeah.
why I loved Las Vegas.
Yes, honestly, I will say for favorite race, I have to go with Las Vegas as well. Obviously, all the chaos you mentioned in race one, which is part of the reason why we love to watch feeder series, because
Yeah.
you are guaranteed a lot of chaos, and it is quite entertaining whenever it's not heartbreak for your driver, there was definitely a lot of heartbreak in that race as well. But also just race two, seeing Doyan Pan winning the drivers' championship, and also in race one already seeing Prema win the teams. Like,
Yeah.
so such a wholesome moment. We love to see it. But another favorite moment I had was what it wasn't like a specific race, but I will say like the first thing I thought of when I looked back at the season was the pure shock I felt in Shanghai when Alba Larsen qualified P3, because that was just so out of nowhere. And I obviously, as an Alba fan, as a Danish person, like you would think I was going in with high expectations, but my expectations were honestly so low because like for those who don't know Alba's career, she had only done like a couple of races in F4 previously to like F1 Academy, and like her expectations were very much, oh, I'll go in and like fight for bottom of top 10, and then going in and performing that way is absolutely insane, and definitely also part of the reason why she can now officially call herself a Ferrari driver for next season, which we are looking so much forward to. But that's definitely one of my favorite moments.
Oh, it was incredible. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's so nice to be shocked in feeder
yeah,
series. Like that's what I love when someone who's totally left field puts it in the top three and you're like, "What? How?"
yeah.
But we did see from the rest of her season she was consistent. So yeah, a really good moment. And I can, I can understand why. We know your Alba agenda.
Yes, exactly. Also, before we move on from F1 Academy, I feel like we have to mention that finally, completely officially, which like it had been leaked for a while, but finally officially F1 Academy has announced their calendar for 2026, and very exciting for us and a lot of other people, I'm sure. They will be going to Silverstone next year for the first time, where we will be at. So we are gonna watch F1 Academy in person, which was like our dream we talked about this year earlier, where we were like, we want to watch it in person so bad, but like we didn't know when that would be possible. It is possible next year, and it is happening.
So exciting. We are literally spoiled at Silverstone. We have
Mm.
F1 Academy, F3, F2, and a sprint race in F1. So a lot of
Uh,
track action, which is so exciting. We also hopefully they'll do like an open paddock situation so we can meet some of our favorite drivers next year. I'm so excited. Like I literally cannot wait, and it's like 7 months away or even more, but
yeah.
like we will be there. Hopefully we will get some content for you guys, who knows. But so excited, I literally can't wait.
No, and obviously we have kind of known this for a while
Yeah.
because, as mentioned, feeder series, like the official feeder series account, actually did post a calendar quite a while ago. But definitely knowing 100% now, and it is publicly known information, is great. And like the whole calendar looks amazing, and I cannot wait for next year.
So exciting. But I think we can probably move on to F3, where
Yes.
okay, I feel like my prediction for I was saying that my prediction for the driver to win the championship was left field. Landed up not being
Yeah.
left
No,
field. Like
not at all.
Nicholas Solov was my prediction, and he did land up coming P2. He was 42 points off Rafa Kamara. But if we take Rafa away and his insanely dominant season, then he wins. So like I was I knew something was up. I knew that
Yeah.
Nicola would be fighting, and I knew it would be his last season of F3. And now we know he's moved up to F2, which is really exciting. So I feel like it really wasn't that left field, that prediction.
No, it really didn't end up being left field at all, which is like insane because we definitely thought going into it that it was kind of left field, but obviously him being in his third season, also joining Campos, there
Yeah.
was like the vibes were there and he capitalized on it, finally being able to fight for the title at least. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but I would say definitely a good prediction. I have been kicking myself for my prediction ever since ever since we ended the recording of that prediction episode, honestly. Because if we look back, I will start off by saying obviously I was wrong because I picked if we're talking left field, very left field decision of choosing Charlie Wirtz. And I do know stuff about F3, okay? So don't judge me on that prediction. He did end up P13, which doesn't look great, but my saving grace, I will say, and that this is the reason why I'm kicking myself, is you can see, like visibly see, also the time I take to like make this
Yeah.
prediction. You can clearly tell I've not decided which of these drivers I'm saying yet. It's just looking at the driver lineups, specifically at Triton. And I do say in the episode, and I quote, it could be one of the Triton drivers, but I'm not sure which one. So I was right in that prediction. Just picked the
Exactly.
wrong one. So
Take the win. Take it.
yes, I'll take it as a half a win because I was so close to picking Rafa, but for some reason in my head I was like, maybe something different will happen and a second-year driver will finally win because like we do tend to see a rookie driver in F3 often ending up being the champion, which we also did this season. So close, but so far from being right.
We also really thought Ugo would come in and
Yes.
dominate. And then in the episode we mentioned, we're like, oh, imagine he's a flop.
Yes, we literally just jinxed him right there. It's actually our fault, I think.
To be honest, I don't think Ugo is a flop. I think his
No.
car was a flop. Because going in, I really thought Prema would win the Constructors' Championship in F3. We do mention that
Yeah.
because it's a new car, like, we're
Mm.
not sure what's gonna happen. Um, boy, boy, were we wrong. Prema finished 7th with 92 points and
Mm.
222 points of the lead. Like,
Yeah.
nowhere near. But they did have an incredible lineup, and I do think all of their drivers from this year going into next year will be competitive in their respective teams now. I just think Prema was cursed this year in F3.
Yeah, they honestly were. And I also predicted Prema as team's champions. And yeah, I didn't think that it could happen twice that we introduce a new car and then Prema just stop knowing how to actually be a F3 or F2 team, like in those two series. I do not understand how this can be such a big issue for them. Especially, it's not like, obviously, yes, the grid has been like shaken up by this new car that was introduced, but it's not like everything has been flipped on its head.
No.
Obviously, still Triton has been super dominant, which also, like, yes, Triton like didn't win the teams, but they have been dominant with their drivers, like winning the driver champion, like before the new car was introduced and also now with the new car.
Yeah.
So it is sad to see Prema's downfall. I was like how confident we were that like best rookie of the year would be Ugo, which obviously turned out to be Rafa, literally winning the whole championship and Ugo being down in P16. But yeah, as you mentioned, seeing Ugo and Brando stay in F3 but at new teams, like that is pretty crucial. They were like, get me out of this Prema car. It will be interesting to see what they can do. Also, Noel Leon, obviously, the one of those three drivers who weren't in his rookie season, stepping up to F2 for Campus, which will be super interesting to see as well.
Again, leaving Prema. No,
Yes.
I don't want to go there.
No, super sad to see. Hopefully they'll be able to turn things around, because it is pure pain being a Prema fan in every other category other like than F1 Academy and Freka still, of course, but like out of the F2, F3, F1 Academy, F2 and F3 is pure hell at the moment compared to what it used to be.
Absolutely. And I do think that for my favorite moment slash race for F3, um it was kind of hard for me to pick. I think a majority of the races were really good this year. We did have a very dominant Rafa, which can sometimes make stuff not a little boring, but like unpredictable. But I haven't really chosen the most exciting race weekend, but I've chosen the race weekend that we attended, which was
Yes.
Silverstone. Because for those of you who don't know, we got some opportunities in Silverstone and we spent a lot of time with Prema in their garage, just in the feeder series paddock, and we actually like had loads of really nice conversations with all of their drivers. Like we spent a lot of time with them. So my favorite moment was the feature race in Silverstone, seeing Noel Leon on the podium, having
Ah.
spoken to him the entire weekend. I did get drenched. Warning, I did get drenched in the
Yeah.
grandstand. I had an uncovered grandstand and it poured with
Not doing
rain.
that again.
No.
We are safe next year. Covered grandstand, yes.
We are. But I
Yeah.
just think Silverstone was the most incredible weekend that it kind of had to be in our little recap. It was I can't even speak about it because it was so
No.
good.
Yes. Also, like for favorite race, I have picked one that is an odd one because it is actually one I didn't see, and that is because it is the race where Noah Stromstedt won in Spa when we were
Oh,
volunteering at the Formula E race in London, and we were like, how is he winning now the one time I'm not watching it? Maybe I should just stop watching F3. He'll win more. Who knows? I won't be doing that, but hopefully he will win more though. But that was
yeah.
definitely a favorite race of mine. Finally seeing him on the top step, because he had definitely been close multiple times, where just so unlucky for him multiple times where just didn't end up there. But it was great to see. But like that was my favorite race. I will say that my favorite moment was for sure, now that you've already talked about us being in Silverstone with Prema, it has to be literally being on the grid before the sprint race in Silverstone.
True.
Like actually walking around the cars before the lights go out was a moment I never thought I would experience, and certainly not this year.
No, it was actually incredible. Like walking on
Mm.
to that grid with all of the cars
Yeah,
lined up, all of the mechanics there, all of the drivers sitting in their cars. And I'm just like,
yeah.
whoa, I'm not meant to be here. But
No,
I was meant, we were meant
yeah,
to be there. And it was
yes.
just like the most surreal experience, like taking pictures
Mm.
in front of the Prema cars because that's who we were kindly there with. I mean, we didn't get a lot of time. We got about 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes felt like an eternity when walking up the grid.
Yes, definitely insane. First being in the F1 pit lane, because that is obviously where the cars park up before they go to the grid. And then once the cars were actually on the grid, being there, being able to like take pictures in front of Ugo's and Noel's car. Unfortunately, Brando was too far down the field, and we did curse him by not taking a picture with his car because he had an awful race. Let's just put it that way. We're sorry for that, Brando. But yeah, it was absolutely insane, and we are so grateful for Prema to give us that opportunity, which was absolutely insane, and we really appreciate it. And if anyone are wondering why you haven't like seen the actual pictures of us being on the grid, technically because we weren't allowed to have our own phones there because they were not like approved by F3. And like we did have a lovely Prema employee that we got to really know across the weekend who did take pictures for us, but technically they are also not really allowed to be shared.
Yeah.
So we still have like the memories ourselves,
Yeah.
which we
We
will
were
like
there.
we
Trust
love.
us.
Yeah, we
Trust.
were. Yeah. Yes. So definitely that has to be favorite moment from F3 this year for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm just like, I don't know how Silverstone's going to top that next year because we have the most insane experience. But yeah, I guess we can move on to F2 now. Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yeah. Oh, yours was actually kind of close as far as I remember, but obviously didn't end up great.
It was close until we came to our final doubleheader. Because
Yes.
for those of you who don't know, I predicted Luke Browning to win, which was looking low-key likely going into the last couple races. He was within touching distance, and throughout the season, he was leading the championship at certain points. So, like, it wasn't insane. And it being his rookie campaign, very, very impressive. And then we just go into the last doubleheader and his car decides to just pretty much not have any power. Like literally, I think his car was cursed. So unfortunately, he did not win, spoiler alert. Um,
No.
but you know what? I'm really proud of the season that he had.
Yes, definitely something to be proud of. Also F2 this year. Obviously it that in the end it was like pretty obvious that Leonardo von Rodi would
Yeah.
win. He also comfortably won a weekend before the final. But until that point where you could like see, okay, Leo is probably gonna run away with it. It was an insane season, to be honest. As we mentioned, Luke leading at one point, Alex Dunn also led at one point, which for sure maybe there's someone I don't even remember right now, but like definitely the championship lead did change hands quite often, I would say.
Yeah.
So honestly, your prediction wasn't too bad, and he was
No.
definitely cursed in the end. Also sad to not see him return for a second season. But of course, he did show what a good driver he
Yeah.
is, and also I think we also mentioned in the original predictions that he is one of the older rookies. Like he's not old, but he's definitely
Yeah.
not like 17 or 16. He's in his 20s, so it is probably time for him to move on to better and greater things. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But my prediction, on the other hand, apparently I think when I do the predictions for next year, I have to be really careful with who I predict because I said Charlie in F3 ended up P13 in F3. I picked for F2 Gabriel Mini, and you know what? He ended P13 as well. Like, and 13 is such an unlucky number. What is this coincidence? Like,
What the heck? Stop.
you could not make this up. Honestly.
I think like I need to sage you maybe. Like I don't know what you're
Yes.
doing, but like
No.
whoever you pick next year, we have to really watch and see what season they
Yeah.
have because you bring bad vibes to them apparently.
Apparently so, because obviously Gabriel Mini, that was also probably based on I really wanted to see him win. How
Yeah.
he ended up down in P13 was not part of the plan, but I really thought that now Prema had one season in F2 with this new car, maybe they would have wrapped their heads around the car and would be able to make it perform better. But alas, both Mini and Montoya actually ended up outside of the top 10 in the championship. So, yeah, definitely not great. So, yeah, I will take credit for mentioning Richard for sure in his 5th season could also go on to win, which was way closer to happening. He ended up P3 and also leading at one point, so I will take that.
Yeah. You imagined Minnie coming in and having the season of Fornaroli. Like I can see what you were
Literally.
seeing. So
Exactly.
and they were Fornaroli and Minnie were fighting for the lead in F3
Yeah.
last year. So like I totally
Yeah.
see where you're coming from. We just didn't expect Prema to have such a downfall this season and just not get
No.
on top of the car. And I still don't think they're on top of the car. Like they have certain
No.
races where they're able to perform, and then other races they're just absolutely nowhere. Can we
Mm.
please fix this before next year?
Please. And like they've had great driver lineups as well since this new car got like come on, last year it was literally Oli Behrman and Kimi Antonelli. Like both F1 drivers now, super talented drivers, both of them. This year also Gabriel Mini and Sebastian Montoya, also great drivers. But it just doesn't seem to work for them.
No.
So can we do something next year? Obviously, Montoya staying with the team. I do hope that he'll get a better second season. And also Mini being one of the many drivers that's like, get me out of here, joining MP instead, which I'm very excited to see what he can do for them.
Agreed. MP seemed like a good team, and he will
Yeah.
be with Oliver for. I'm excited to see them together, and yeah, I really hope that both Prema drivers have a good, solid second season, and that we can have some Prema dominance back. Like that's gonna be like I don't know what I want for Christmas. Prema dominance back, please.
Yes, that is at the top of the list. Now we got the Lando World Champion. Now
Yes.
we can put Prema dominance back as well. Like that is on the top now. Definitely will be interesting to see if it will actually happen, but no one knows. Also, they've already done their postseason testing. Didn't look great. Did look great for MP though, I will say. So maybe Mini has a shot next year. Also, the topping a lot of the times. But yeah, I guess we can move on to who we thought would win the team's championship. And I will say, even though we were not right, we were cooking with this one. I personally predicted High Tech, which I felt was like out of nowhere, 2 rookies in the lineup, not like a traditional winning, like champion winning team, in F2 at least.
Yeah.
But they came in P2, and like, had they not have that really, really bad form from Luke in the final 2 races, like they could have gotten close to Invicta. I will say it wasn't over. But yeah, in the end, it wasn't enough. But I will say I slightly cooked with that one. I will take that.
You really did. Honestly,
No,
I mean, neither of us predicted correctly like who was going to win. Neither of
no,
us predicted Invicta. But we did close out the top 3 because I
yeah,
predicted that Campos would be winning the team's championship. And they did land up finishing 3rd, 58 points behind 1st and 20 off 2nd, which is not that far. I did go in with a lot of hope that Pepe would have an incredible second season. He had a better second season than his rookie campaign. Wasn't great. And I also put a little bit more hype on Arvid, I feel like, but they still did
yeah.
great. And now we know Arvid is signed to be carb for next year. So yeah, I feel like those predictions were pretty solid from us.
Yes, I think so too. Definitely didn't get it quite right,
No.
but we were close. So we'll take that for sure. Also, will be interesting to see who we predict for next year because
Yeah.
the lineups at the teams are definitely also shaking up quite a bit. Obviously, High Tech getting Colton Herta, which is like a lot of eyes on him next year. 100%. So it'll be interesting to see how they do there because obviously Colton has just had his first test in an F2 car, and obviously we don't know what they were doing. It's a
No.
new car; he can just like learn a lot and not really push for the fastest laps because it didn't look great across the 3 days for High Tech and Colton Hertz, unfortunately. But again, it's just postseason testing, nothing serious yet.
Exactly. We don't know what they were doing exactly. We get literally no information. So I'm going to take that with a tiny pinch of salt. And I hope he performs better next year because it'll actually be so depressing if he's down in the bottom, like 15 or so, coming from IndyCar. Like it's going to look like a joke. He needs to perform well.
Yeah, so it will be interesting because even though F2 are all equal cars, we do tend to sometimes see some teams struggling more than others, which
Yeah.
is maybe something we'll make a separate episode on next season as well. So stay tuned for that. But favorite moment in F2, obviously kind of same with F3. I have to like honorable mention is obviously Silverstone because we were
Yeah.
there. We talked for quite a while with Sebastian Montoya, which was super nice. He's super lovely. Definitely looking forward to hopefully getting to do that again next year. Not jinxing anything, but like definitely manifesting now that he's staying
Yeah.
with Prema. Also, like Mini teaching us how to do the Rubik's Cube is not something that was on my 2025 bingo card, but definitely a memorable moment, I will say.
Absolutely. And seeing Leo Fornaroli's first win, not
Yeah,
from track, but from the Prema garage, like with
yeah,
the F3 drivers coming to look, like just absolutely
yeah.
insane. Like Silverstone, incredible. Like every moment from that, from all the series that we watched, will
Mm.
always go down in history in my mind. So I feel like it's honorable mention for me as well.
Yes, definitely it has to be. But like if we look more like favorite races, we have already talked about enjoying some good chaos in our
Oh,
feeder series.
wait,
And
did we
the
choose the same
first
thing?
race, I don't know, probably because the first race I thought is it has to be, even though it was kind of a terrible race, it has to be Monaco feature race because that was just pure chaos. Like that is F2, and like maybe in a bad way. It's not always like that in F2, don't worry, but like that was peak F2 chaos.
Yep. We chose the same thing again. But like when I look back
Yeah,
on the season, the first moment I remember is Monaco. Like it was literally the
yeah,
most insane race. Like, okay, racing laps, not that insane. But like that
no.
first corner crash, taking out half the
Mm,
field, Sebastian Montoya stalling on the grid, but like he was literally so lucky that he did, so he wasn't
mm,
involved in
yeah.
anything. And Sebastian getting
Literally ending up
P3
on
on
the
the podium.
podium.
Literally,
Yeah,
actually, like
yeah,
the most insane race. That's what I
insane.
mean by I love the chaos. I love the chaos.
Yes, that is definitely probably the most memorable race as well. Like if you look across the whole season, like without like actually looking into detail what happened, it is Monaco that you remember because it was so insane. Also, like all the small things, even when there's a red flag, often it gets pretty boring because nothing is happening. But like all the content we got from that red flag, with like Mini staying in his car, getting told by his race engineer Pedro to like stay in the car, like basically playing hide and seek from all the marshals, telling him to get out. Like that whole moment was just like peak, honestly.
So, so funny. And like the broadcast, like showing us the moments of like Victor and they like talking about Alex, like it was just insane.
Yeah,
Like I just love the little moments that came out of it. It was iconic.
it truly was. So that has to go down as our favorite race of the
Yeah.
season. But I think that is actually it for this wrap up of the F2 F3 F1 Academy season of like what our predictions were and how terribly wrong we were with most of them. I only got one thing right, so maybe I'll have to do better next year, or I'll just go completely left field again, just
Yeah.
to make things interesting.
I'm gonna like dive in, look at the statistics of everything, and
Yeah.
see like who did well, who didn't. I'm gonna be calculating because I want to get these predictions right
Yeah.
next year
Yeah. Oh,
for
the
no
game is
reason.
on. Like the competition is real.
We don't win any,
No, we don't.
but it's for glory. And I don't think either of us got
It
any
is.
glory. Like, I don't think we can, neither of us
No,
won between us this year. We both had wins and
not really.
losses, and I think they cancel each other out.
Yeah. I definitely agree. We were like equally bad, I will say. So looking forward to make new predictions next year, starting fresh. Hopefully you're not cursing everyone to end P13 again. If that happens, something is truly wrong. And like I will stop making predictions
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
Yes. But this was our final episode before Christmas. We will make sure to like update you on when we will be back. Don't worry, it is a short break. But obviously we do have Christmas to celebrate. You're going home to South Africa. I have a
I am.
bachelor thesis that needs to be written. So a lot of stuff going on, but we will be back again soon, I'm sure.
Exactly. This podcast is like our passion projects. We both do have very busy lives outside of it. So I feel like a little break for us is a really nice way to reset and then jump into the next season refreshed, renewed. But yeah, we won't be gone for very, very long. Don't you worry. Your favorite Feeder Series podcast. I'm gonna claim it. Your favorite Feeder Series podcast
Yes.
will not be gone for very, very long. Make sure to follow us on our other socials because we will continuing to update you if there's any announcements. So yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of those things.
Yes, because we will also probably let you know on there when we up officially back again with a new episode. So definitely do make sure to follow us, put on notifications if you want to be kept up to date with everything. And we just want to say thank you for watching this first full season of our little podcast. We will be back better than ever for season 2. And we really appreciate every single one of you who cares enough to listen and watch our episodes.
Yeah, it really means so, so much. Even if we had like one viewer, I really wouldn't care. Like, I'm just doing this to get I have so much love for Feeder Series and I need to put it
Mm,
somewhere. So we put it on the podcast.
yeah.
And I'm so glad there's some of you out there who like to listen to us yap. Sorry, we yap for a long time sometimes. But yeah, just so much love and thank you so much for being here.
Yes, we truly appreciate every single one of you, and we're excited to be back with new content for you again very soon. So until then, have a nice Christmas or just nice December if you're not celebrating any other holiday right now, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.